as
I
you
threatened them with abiding by the law, technically.
Right. And they certainly don't want that. And then somebody heard it as something else.
So where did this blow up? How did this happen? Because, you went, you spoke. How long after? What happened?
I think it was the next day. I don't know. Somebody went on Facebook and they confused Bob's testimony with mine. And they said that they described his testimony, but then said that, and this was on the FSP group on Facebook, that the thing they had the problem with was the fact that somebody used the name FSP. So
the Free State Project.
Yeah.
The group of which you are a participant, correct?
I signed the thing, what was it, 3 years ago or whatever. I probably shouldn't have done that, but...
You can revoke your signature.
Yeah, but...
Apparently some people would be really happy if you did that. Because they're embarrassed by the fact that you're involved in their organization. Somebody told you to not say Free State Project from here on out?
Not exactly. Carla told me to...
Carla is the former president of the Free State Project?
Carla Garrick told me to not say Free State Project in public.
In public? And
to not attach their name to me, which I thought I was, disassociating them from me, if you listen to what I actually said.
Yeah, you said
whatever.
you're so extreme, like most of the people in the Free State Project find you extreme. Is what you said. Something like that.
I didn't say that about the Free State Project. I said that about anarchists.
Okay,
I said
anarchists.
The Free State Project put a disclaimer on what I wrote, which is true.
Right, when you wrote your moving story for the newsletter.
And then they started putting them on all the rest of them, too, after that. But
I see.
I went back and checked, and they didn't put any on before that.
Interesting. Coincidence?
But then I bragged about it on Facebook, and 2 board members liked that comment at the time, so there's that.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Well, you've said the words Free State Project on multitudes of occasions just in tonight's show, so apparently you're not respecting that request to not use the term Free State Project in public, because this is on public airwaves here on Free Talk Live. There's more coming up. You can take control.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want right here. And I apologize for slacking. Thankfully, Gene the Christian Anarchist actually called our board operator to let me know that I forgot to start the stream on the Twitch channel and YouTube. So apologies about that. We were a little late tonight for those of you in the video world, but for those of you on the radio, you've heard everything. We've been talking, to bring you up to speed if you're just tuning in, about Melanie stirring it up with a speech that she made at the State House, about a 90-second long clip, which you can see over at freekeen.com on her recent post, entitled, Testimony at the State House?
It doesn't have a real creative name.
Testimony on Homeschool Regulation Bill. And you're the second video down there where you basically say, hey, look, you people who want to regulate homeschool, I am an anarchist. You don't want me in your school. But if you want me in your school, I'm going to be all over it. And you're going to make their lives difficult as you possibly can. I'm summarizing what you said. It wasn't offensive. It was, to some extent a little in your face, but sometimes you need to make a statement that catches people's attention. I don't have any objection to what you said. Now, Mark, you've been hard on some activist techniques here. Do you feel like Melanie crossed a line with her testimony?
I don't think, from what I heard of her testimony, that was particularly
that was the whole thing.
Productive, right? Like, I don't think that the legislators thought to themselves, oh, dear me, we'll be turning loose this lady on a bunch of school bureaucrats somewhere in a place in the state that I don't have to deal with. So I don't think it was productive, but I don't think that her point was terribly threatening or bad or anything like that. I think it is just, I would have saved the trip for that particular point.
I see. Well, she was motivated to make the trip to make that point.
And there were lots of people there, and that's great. But
what would have been more productive to you? I mean, because either way, you're just talking to people who probably don't really care that much. I mean, sometimes they do. Sometimes they're actually interested in what you have to say. So that the state legislature here in New Hampshire is much more approachable. They're reachable. You can sit down, have lunch with them. They don't have big staffs to protect them. They don't even have any staff if it's a state representative. They don't even have a desk. They've got a locker that they can store some stuff in. So they're much more accessible and more down to earth.
They are more accessible. There's no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean that every one of them listens.
No.
So first off, I don't think this bill is going to go through.
Yeah.
So I don't think that any testimony is particularly productive.
Okay.
But I did make a post. Melanie asked me for a quote about homeschooling in Keene a couple of months ago, and I gave her a quote. It was rather long-winded, but it basically came down to the idea that, look, once you people get your schools in a row, then you can start talking about getting other people's, going after other people's schooling habits. But until the government is, not the worst school in a given geographic area for a given grade, then you should stop talking about this stuff because it makes you look bad. You're the worst at education, and then you're talking about other people who are bad at it. And, there certainly are homeschoolers that are not very good at education, but do you want public school administrators being the one who figure this? These are the people that fail every day at schooling.
When you're upsetting the liberty community, the so-called liberty community, then you're probably on the right track. Melanie?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I didn't want to just take that and run with it.
So what was it that they were so offended by exactly? I'm still not
because I said
clear.
Free State Project.
So because you
that is the only
because
thing
you didn't hide it, that's what it is this is the group of people who wants to hide the fact that they are Free Staters, right? Because there's a large contingent of them. I mean, I remember when I was involved heavily with Free State Project events and things like that. There was a certain group of people who, when asked, would not be honest about it, and I always had a problem with that. Like, look, you are a Free State Project participant. You joined this organization. You moved to New Hampshire because of it. It's one thing if somebody says, "Why'd you move to New Hampshire?" and you just, give them a, not so straightforward answer of, "Oh, I wanted to be more free."
Actually, be more accurate. Because if somebody asks me, "Why did I move to New Hampshire?" it's not accurate to say because the Free State Project wanted me to. I mean,
well, you wanted to move. You signed the statement of intent, but but
I'm saying for any given person, there might be a more accurate answer to the question, "Why did you move to New Hampshire?"
No, I get what you're saying. That doesn't have to involve saying the Free State Project. But if somebody were to directly ask, "Did you join the Free State Project?" I do not support people telling lies.
Right.
And that's the group of people that you're talking about here, right? The ones who want to keep it on the down low, who think they're going to secretly infiltrate their communities and then all of a sudden spring liberty on them. Surprise! And I just don't I've never understood that position that you're going to just sneak in voluntarism. You're just going to sneak in anarchism. You're just going to fly under the radar until all of a sudden you're going to press a button and eliminate the state. It's not going to work like that. Once you get into state representative positions and you start taking positions on issues about, let's abolish the Department of Education, let's abolish, these various different government bureaucracies and replace them with nothing, allow the marketplace to fill the gaps, you're going to really upset some people. Whether you call yourself a free stater or a libertarian or a voluntarist or an anarchist doesn't matter. The same people are going to be mad about it. They're going to figure out, your associations. And in fact, because of this sort of tendency to hide that some Free Staters have, to hide the fact that they're Free State Project participants, there's even a group out there who's taken a specific interest in outing them. There's a group out there called Granite State Progress. It's a lefty group that, ironically was actually funded and staffed by people who don't live in New Hampshire. So they are doing the same thing. They're bringing in their political viewpoint, and they're pushing it down as much as they possibly can through the political system, just as the Free State Project participants are. And they come out with, every 2 years, every election season in New Hampshire, they've got a list. And they have done a very good job with that list. In fact, I use it as a voter's guide. I always repost it over at freekeen.com, where they've come up with a list of who they believe are Free State Project participants or who are strongly affiliated with the libertarian movement up here.
So it's interesting that you say that the people that fund Granite State Progress are from out of state.
I'm sure some of them are from in-state.
It's kind of the logical fallacy that they trot out on Free Staters too. Well, you aren't from the state for long enough to have the opinion that you have. The only opinions that are valid are my opinions because I've been here the right amount of time, and I believe the right things, or whatever it is that these people with this logical fallacy have. So it's interesting. I don't know. Should people from out-of-state money be able to write checks and affect policy inside a particular state? I feel that way. That's true for me, for 49 other states, just not no one should be able to do it for this one. What about people who move to a particular place? Well, I can tell you as somebody who's from Sarasota, Florida, that we got Yankees coming in all the time, and believe me, they vote. And, I would surely have loved it if they wouldn't have been able to affect policy that had only been the people that had lived there, were born there and lived there, were able to vote. But that doesn't make much sense. It's kind of this weird human attribute, this tribalism that's born into us.
Sure is. So if you want to comment, you're welcome to join us here. Our toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. So you were told to basically shut up, sit down, don't say that you're a member of the Free State Project. I mean, what are some highlights or lowlights of what it was that you were told?
So they were kind of conflating my and Bob's testimony, and they were...
That's your fiance.
Yeah,
Well, you're responsible
it's
for him.
fair as far as I'm concerned, except to the extent that it shows me you don't know what you're... Didn't necessarily watch the video, maybe, but... So they were yelling at me a lot to not yell at the legislator. They were telling me that I was undoing their work. Somebody was like, we have training for this, or we have resources for this. I'm like...
You didn't go through the approved process. Yeah, I got some of this too, where it was like, oh, you need to wear a suit. You need to go through the training.
They got upset with you when you did the shtick as a organized criminal too.
I was wearing a suit for that one.
Yeah, you thanked the legislature for keeping marijuana illegal because it benefits organized crime.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank
I got
you.
a chuckle from some of the state legislatures, so I got the response that I was hoping to get.
I didn't think that was the worst thing that you could have done, but They
liked it.
I've seen some cringe-worthy testimony from different people since I've been there.
Yeah.
One time, William Kostrick showed up at a seatbelt bill wearing like a helmet and some padded gear, and he's just talking about how dangerous the world is, and boy, we got to protect against everything, kind of doing this.
That's great. I love theater. I love it when that stuff happens.
I know. Look, I only said it was cringeworthy
where
because it wasn't great theater.
There was also one where a guy named Andre did the speech from Edgar Friendly's speech from Demolition Man in front of one of the State House committees, which was just so awesome. Unfortunately,
but nobody knew what it was precisely, right?
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know how many people had seen Demolition Man that were on the committee
and remembered.
Oh, you'd remember it if you'd seen the speech. But anyway, it was pretty entertaining. Sadly, he took it down when he decided he wanted to run for State House. You can't actually go and watch it anymore unless somebody had saved a copy of it. But I didn't. The toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up anything that's on your mind. This is Free Talk Live Hour 2 coming up.
People search the internet for everything, including you. With a few clicks, information from your past can be quickly discovered, from business deals gone wrong to misleading reviews, negative articles, and unflattering images. Studies show 78% of people search for someone online before doing business with them. Will they find the real you? With ReputationDefender.com, you can establish a positive internet presence. ReputationDefender.com pioneered the field with over a decade of experience, serving thousands of successful individuals and businesses. We use patented, award-winning systems to boost positive content and suppress negative material. Don't let the internet define you. Take control of your reputation today with ReputationDefender.com. For your quick, free reputation analysis, call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com. Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 29th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.27 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,344 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $45, and the average price of Bitcoin is $11,172. Antiwar.com reports the Prime Minister of the Saudi-backed Hadi government in Yemen has issued a desperate plea for Saudi help over the weekend as their forces were quickly routed in their interim capital of Aden and the government headquarters were seized. Interestingly, this is totally separate from the Saudi-led war trying to reinstall this faction as Yemen's government and marks a major split in the Saudi coalition, with the attacking faction a southern secessionist movement which is backed by the United Arab Emirates. Yemen was militarily unified in 1990 when northern Yemen conquered the former South Yemen. Since then, secessionists have remained active in the south, though rarely in a position to really assert themselves in a serious way. The Saudis were keen to install a Sunni-dominated government with their invasion in 2015, but the Hadi government's increasing reliance on the Muslim Brotherhood and the war's length has convinced some that Yemen is heading for a split. The United Arab Emirates appears to believe that they may as well just back the separatists in the first place. A victory for the separatists might go a long way towards ending the Yemen war, as the battle lines between pro-Saudi forces and the Shiite Houthis are remarkably close to the old borders between North and South Yemen. Ending the war with a de facto and de jure split might be the simplest way for everyone to extricate themselves from the conflict that's gotten far out of hand and is causing humanitarian disasters left and right. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports billionaire Steve Wynn resigned as the Republican National Committee Finance Chairman on Saturday after Wynn Resorts Board announced late Friday a special committee will investigate sexual misconduct allegations involving the company's chairman and CEO. President Donald Trump, who has called Wynn a great friend, named the casino hotel mogul to the position after the 2016 election. Wynn Resorts, the Las Vegas-based company founded by Wynn, announced its plans to form the committee after a Wall Street Journal investigation published Friday morning detailed a decades-long pattern of sexual misconduct by Wynn based on dozens of interviews with former employees. Among those claims, the newspaper noted that manicurists and massage workers were highly paid but felt they were pressured and felt intimidated when Wynn made requests of them. A married manicurist claimed Wynn forced her to have sex with him not long after he opened his flagship Wynn Las Vegas. The newspaper reported Wynn later paid the manicurist a $7.5 million settlement. After the general report, Wynn Resorts stock shares dropped 10% on NASDAQ. Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, a moderate Democrat from West Virginia, said on Sunday he thought a new White House immigration plan was a good starting point and criticized House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi for dismissing it as a way to make America white again. Manchin, a leader of a bipartisan Senate group working on immigration, said on CNN's State of the Union program, "We don't need that type of rhetoric on either side, from Nancy, Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan, or anybody else." Manchin's comments highlighted differences among the Democrats ahead of a February 8th deadline for the U.S. Congress to pass another spending bill and try to reach an immigration agreement that would also protect up to 1.8 million undocumented immigrants brought to the United States as children, a group known as Dreamers. Senior White House officials outlined an immigration plan on Thursday that would offer Dreamers a path to citizenship. The proposal would also curb some legal immigration programs and build a border wall with Mexico. The White House described the language on Dreamers as a major concession to Democrats, but leading Democrats quickly dismissed the plan as a non-starter. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
It's the Onion Radio News. A crazy man announces plans to stand in a doorway and yell at cars. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Dennis Fife, an Alhambra, California crazy man, held a press conference today to announce his intention to stand in the doorway of the office building at 2600 Kenilworth Avenue and yell at cars all day.
At approximately 9:30 a.m. on the day in question, shortly after I finish lunging at dogs, I will proceed to the front steps of the Simmons building and yell loudly for 9 hours. The screaming will be broken by a 15-minute fit of rigid catatonia, most likely in the late afternoon.
Among the topics Fife plans to address during his 9-hour rant, the ace of diamonds, bookshelves, the man trying to kill him, plastic bags in trees, Trapper John M.D., and papers everywhere. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Well, if you want to hear a really bad idea, stay tuned, because the U.S. federal government, at least one part of it, the policing side of it, would like them to be in charge of your cell phone communication, specifically 5G. You've heard of 3G. You've heard of 4G. Well, apparently, they're working on 5G, as you might imagine.
Isn't there a 4G LTE, too?
LTE is a type of 4G. Yeah.
Is it better?
I think it is. I think so. I remember doing a little bit of research on that way back in the day. But anyway, we'll tell you more about what their plan is, because some government agents would love to see the Trump administration nationalize 5G. Seriously, that's what they're talking about doing. With you in the studio here tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
Luckily, there's another government agency, one which I've been a big critic of over time, the FCC, which appears to be actually coming out with a sane position about this. We'll tell you more about that in moments. But first, let's go to Will. He's in Dallas, Texas. You're on Free Talk Live as we kick off the second hour. Hello, Will.
Hey, I hope all is well. Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay, well, I started getting a little nervous because I thought maybe Mark was quitting the show.
Which time?
Which time?
Yeah, he has quit the show a couple times in the past.
Yeah, and Mark, Ian, you're a good guy, and I would say I love you, but I use that term for people I love, or I don't know you really. So I really like you. I think you're a kick butt dude, and all that stuff.
That's nice of you. What were you calling about tonight?
Yeah, well, that's what it was. I was going to say that. Well, there's that. And I was going to say that. I was afraid Mark got too many Bitcoins and was like, "The heck with this stuff," And
could be.
I don't possess very many Bitcoins. I gave all mine away.
Well, anyway, I just want to say that you're kind of the one who drew me to the show in the beginning, which 4 or 5 years ago.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Really well, and you probably know that Mark tends to leave during the winter times. If you've been listening for the last few years, you know that this is more of a thing that he tends to do because his family goes down to Florida.
It's kind of hard to be without your wife for, like she wants to leave around Thanksgiving. And
I'm not going to snuggle with you.
Well, are you saying you wouldn't?
If we were freezing, then yes, I would. But on the average night, no, I would not.
It doesn't seem like you've been real picky about who you snuggle with in the past, pal.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
I got a list of things if you want to talk about
You got a problem with me sleeping with my dog? Is that what you're saying?
Not your dog. Your dog is a great snuggler.
Yeah. Anyway, she can't even make it up the stairs anymore, unfortunately. But Will. So he tends to leave for Florida. In fact, he's going back. Right, you're going down south, not necessarily to Florida, but St. Kitts and then
I've got to
Mexico.
go to Florida for a couple of days before the St. Kitts trip, and then I'll come back to Florida and then go to Acapulco, where I'm going to meet you and do the show. And I presume something's happening after that. I don't know that I've even spoken to Laura about.
Yeah. So basically, he's kind of in and out during the wintertime.
Yeah, and that's not I guess part of it was a critique. I guess because one thing about it, Ian, you tend to have an attitude that there is no such thing as a bad immigrant or
When the hell did I say that? There's all kinds of bad people out there.
Well,
just because I don't want to have a police state around doesn't mean that I think all people from one particular group are the same way. I would judge individuals based on their individual actions.
I agree. You do that. I do not dispute your assessment there.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad we can clear that up.
Well, yeah. Well, good no, because I'm the same way, man. I mean, well, Mark, I'm on your side on these things because, I don't know. Like,
I just sound reasonable.
Mark also supports open borders.
I just sound reasonable. Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, no, it's a value-added situation or component or whatever. Because, I know when people call in sometimes they have critiques of immigration or Muslim, and listen, I'm not against either.
All right.
So, I want to make that clear.
I'm against Muslims, Christians, Jews, and everybody in the Abrahamic religion.
No, you're not.
I am.
Coley's in the house right now.
I will talk to him about it. I don't like his religion.
Okay, but you haven't said you got to leave or anything like that. You're very friendly with
You would have a problem with somebody that's you have to leave my property.
He said I'm against. If you're against somebody, you probably wouldn't want to be around
I'm
them.
against your attitude generally.
I talked to a lot of
I've
people
worked with you for years.
If I didn't, I wouldn't talk to anybody.
I gotcha. Hey,
Will, this is what I do best. I stir up arguments.
Hey, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. There was, I did log into Facebook. I do it once a week to add the new amplifiers to the Facebook group. So I did see some of the AMP group posts last night when I went and did that. And there was one post that was another surprise. Another listener, I think Leah, critiqued me saying that I thought sex was why do I think sex is so casual or something like that? I'm like, I'm against casual sex. I don't know what you're talking about. She appeared to be upset at my position on revenge porn, which is to say that, hey, if you don't want your naked pictures to be spread on the internet, here's an idea. Don't take the naked pictures in the first place. I'm not sure how that was, thrown into the concept that I'm in favor of casual sex and don't think it's
if
important.
You don't address the other side, which is that revenge porn is a contract violation. That then it just looks like you're like, hey, naked people, the internet's full of it, so what? I've heard you say
that was my position.
You said there was so much porn.
There's so much porn on the internet. What does it matter?
It matters to the person
I'm surprised that your intended position was not that you don't value that highly, because that's what it sounded like.
That I don't value intimacy, or because that's what she seemed to extrapolate from it.
Not that you don't value it, I guess, necessarily, because you can value something that you don't hold in a whatever that would even be, but that you don't think of it as seriously necessarily as other people. That's what it sounded like.
Just because I know enough to not give away naked pictures to people.
Right, but that
doesn't mean that is in no way a commentary about what I believe about sexual encounters.
Say that without saying any of the other things you said last week, which included that there's so many pictures on the internet that what does it matter if yours is
ultimately
fair?
It doesn't.
Communication is a two-way street.
Yeah.
The listener has a certain responsibility, but so does the speaker. And in whatever way you failed in whatever responsibility you had to Leah to communicate your side of it, that's something you can take away from here and say, hey, wow, I can create something newly around my position, which is that
I'm just trying to understand the critique. I can't change anything until I can understand how somebody can extrapolate an opinion about intimacy and sex, and I don't have the actual statement in front of me because I'm not logged into Facebook.
Well, I think your position was something to the effect of, you're like, no big naked pictures of you, no big deal, because naked bodies aren't that important and sex isn't that important. And somebody
that's not what I said at all.
Over time might come to that conclusion.
That's not at all what I said.
You're not of the opinion that naked bodies are a problem.
I'm not of that opinion.
Allow people to walk around completely naked, day-to-day life in public.
Absolutely. That's where a lot of this comes from.
Allowing it is different than not having a problem with, because there are lots of things
I don't have
that
a problem
would
with it.
Allow.
If somebody wants to walk naked down the street, what's the problem with that?
Right, see? So that's what she's talking about.
But that has nothing to do with revenge porn. The revenge porn is...
But it has to do with treating sex casually.
But again, just because I know better than to release sexy pictures on, to somebody on the internet doesn't mean that I treat sex casually. In fact, I'm against casual sex. I don't have that. I'm not interested in having that. So, like, I'm in favor of intimacy, but at the same time, I'm also aware that people don't always stay the same. So, if you're in a relationship with somebody, it may be wonderful, and you may be connecting with this person so well.
Yep.
And everything is just going so swimmingly, and he or she asks you for a picture of, they've gone on a vacation or whatever, because presumably if you're with the person, you don't need their naked picture, but, they've gone on some long vacation and they want to get a naked photo of you, and you just fulfill their desire because they are your partner, they're your lover, and you are into this relationship. I'm well enough aware that things can change in the future.
Next week you find out he's doing all the secretaries in the secretary pool.
Because that's the other side of the story. The person in the AMP group was acting like, oh, these women who are victimized by the revenge porn, they're completely innocent. But I bet you there's another side to every single one of those stories, and I suspect some of it involves cheating. So is that a contract violation too, if the woman cheats and then a revenge porn is done? More coming up here.
Thinking about getting into cryptocurrency but feel overwhelmed by the high price of Bitcoin? Or maybe you've used Bitcoin in the past, but were turned off by the high transaction fees and slow transfer times. It's time you looked into Dash. Dash is digital international money that you can send anywhere, anytime for less than a nickel. With Dash, your transactions can be instant and private. Dash offers a fully incentivized and decentralized peer-to-peer network where miners are rewarded for keeping the network fast, strong, and safe for its users. Start your journey at Dash.org. Since its launch in 2014, Dash has made a huge impact in the crypto world and is showing no signs of stopping. Check out Dash.org for more information about Dash and get in now on the future of cryptocurrency. Dash.org.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated. So send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Melanie is our resident tax advisor and expert. She is an accountant by trade. And just within the last, half a year, maybe even last 4 months, something like that, you quit your day job, being an accountant for some company, and you are now doing it all on your own. You're doing, contract work, basically, for people who would like to hire an accountant or a bookkeeper, somebody who can do their taxes at the end of the year, which is, or the end of the tax year, which is basically right now. Melanie, you had suggested in previous conversations that once our listeners who want some help with taxes have received all of their paperwork, so the W-2s, the 1099s, that stuff, once they've received that, that's when they should first reach out to you. Is that correct?
If your stuff is simple, yes. If you know you're going to get a bunch of complicated stuff, maybe set up an appointment before then and I'll decide, or email me before then and I'll decide if you need to come in now anyway or if we should just wait for everything. It really just depends. I guess email me now and I'll tell you when to come in.
Right.
There's really no simple way to break that down.
So your website is tax.freetalklive.com. That's a forwarding site. It will take you straight to Melanie's site where you can reach out to her and let her know what you need done. She can probably help you. You're getting busier, obviously, as you're getting closer to the big deadline. And but that said, you are still willing to take on new clients at this time.
Yeah, there's busy peaks during the there's a deadline in 2 days. There's one on March 15th.
What's coming up in 2 days?
W-2s and 1099s.
Meaning they have to be sent? Meaning the company has to have sent them by 2 days from now? I see. I never knew that. That's the kind of information.
That didn't used to be the case.
Really? So how new is that?
2-3 years, something like that.
So did it used to they just showed up whenever before the 15th?
It was February something. I don't remember.
Okay, so there's a deadline now, though, and that's that's kind of data and information you can get from Melanie because she pays attention to this stuff. She actually is into reading laws. I don't understand it. Like Daryl, she can actually read these things and not go insane. So, although some from the Free State Project would argue,
I don't know about not going insane. It might just be what kind of insane you go.
Right. So she can help you. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and get in touch with Melanie because she's like an anarchist. That's what she said in front of an actual audience of people.
Yeah, I told the state that last week.
So now you know. It wasn't just, for show here on Free Talk Live. She actually told the state, and she let it out there. So tax.freetalklive.com. You want an anarchist to help you with your taxes. She's going to maximize what you take back from the evil state. That's, once again, tax.freetalklive.com. As we continue here, of course, you can bring up whatever's on your mind. We were talking about miscommunicating or people misunderstanding because there's there's frequently breakdowns in communication. People who don't understand what was being said are not likely to actually call and clarify. In this case, there was a statement that was made on the Free Talk Live Amplifier group on Facebook, and I happened to see it after a week after she posted it or something like that, and I thought it was worth bringing up on the air because she hadn't called in to bring it up, and I wish that she would because it would be easier to express her opinions if she was the one expressing them rather than me sort of recollecting them and paraphrasing. But the idea was that because I guess she interpreted what I was saying about revenge porn as being sort of flippant towards it.
I think that's what everyone thought, whether they agreed with you or not.
Well, look, I said that it was a tacky thing to do at the time. I said that multiple times, that I don't support
tacky is like wear the wrong colors
together. Yeah, but then
together.
I said that tacky is like wearing pajamas at Walmart, and you didn't really argue with that.
Okay, well, whatever. That's just the word that I chose to express that I don't think it's okay to do that, but I don't think it's a crime. I don't think that it should be something where someone goes to prison. That was what my statement was that this is bad to do, but it is not, in my opinion, a criminal act, and it is certainly not one that deserves the sex offender registry, which was the topic that we were discussing at the time, which was what the proposal was.
I think it's a civil violation, and that it should go to arbitration, and that quite possibly monetary recompense should be in order.
But it is my belief that it is not the end of the world should this happen to somebody. If they want to act like it's the end of the world, then I'm sure it will feel like the end of the world to them, which was the context in which I was saying, hey, look, there's billions of naked pictures out there. Yours is one of them. Congratulations.
Well, it depends on where they put it. Like, just because somebody posts something to Pornhub or whatever, yeah, that's going to come up in a search with, 7 billion other things or whatever. If they post it to your boss's website or their Facebook page or something where one wouldn't usually be looking for porn, that makes it a little bit more visible.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. I've not heard of that happening, but I'm sure it has happened. I've always heard about it in the context of revenge porn websites, like that there are actual sites apparently designed or dedicated to this type of postings.
Sure. I've never seen one, but I've heard of it.
I've never been to one of them either. I don't even know what they are, but I suspect a quick Google would reveal them. But anyway, that was the context under which was like, hey, look, even if this does happen, look, it's not the end of the world. Nakedness does happen. That wasn't to say that, you should just go ahead and spread yourself everywhere because it's no big deal.
There's a lot of things that happen. Cancer happens. AIDS happens. Being shot by the state happens.
None of those things rise to the level of someone posting a naked picture online, okay? None of them.
Being shot by the state?
Yeah, right.
The prevalence of something has nothing to do with how bad it is.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, okay? But it's not a crime.
Well,
and so for people to act like, no, it's not.
You might say it's a victimless crime.
Fine. It's a crime by the law's definition in New Hampshire, but it's not a crime as in there's an actual person.
You could argue that it's not a NAP violation, which I think depends on the situation.
That's what NAP stands for. And Mark's arguing that it's a contract violation, which I think is an interesting claim, but unless there was actually a contract, then you're talking about an unspoken assumption.
Right, there's a verbal contract, and I think you can pretty easily
Well, it'd only be a verbal contract if you said, oh, now, honey, you can take my picture, but you can't tell anybody, and you can't share it with anybody.
I think you can convince the average person. For one, posting it and refusing to take it down are two different things, right? So if you post my revenge porn online and I say, Ian, take this down, and you say, ha ha ha, or whatever, right? Then it's pretty clear you're going to be able to get a judge or an arbiter or whomever to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a contract violation, because the contract is so implicit in our culture, in our society, that it is to be considered that it would be just, that's just the truth.
Okay, but what if at the time, and this is what I said to the state representatives when I testified against this bill, which would have made it so the already supposedly criminal act would then become a sex registry act, was that what if at the time the couple in this case was performing an amateur pornography shoot, and that they did consent at that time to posting those pictures online. Then later, once one of them broke up with the other, they decided they wanted to revoke that consent from posting the amateur porn they put online, and then made up a story about how I never consented to those pictures being posted online. Could you imagine somebody doing that?
Yeah.
I could.
Sure.
Yeah, especially in a nasty breakup where in some cases both parties do not act very nice.
Yeah, I didn't claim that this was a situation of criminality, but I would recommend anybody who wants to post pornography of their significant other online is, look, you're setting yourself up for a civil suit if you don't have some kind of agreement that this is the case.
And again, as I said before, what if the other party broke the agreement first? What if they cheated first?
Well, if it's retaliation, then you're good.
Well, I don't believe in retaliation either. I believe in de-escalating a conflict, but you do. More coming up here.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Hawaii was a wake-up call. Don't be caught without a disaster shelter. Atlas makes an all-disaster shelter that will protect your family from fallout, tornadoes, and hurricanes for only $99.99. That also includes the NBC air filtration system, solid steel construction with an airtight, bulletproof door. That's right, for $99.99 and up. Call 1-855-4BUNKER or go to iwantthatshelter.com. Atlas Survival Shelters, the world leader in fallout shelters.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can join us here toll free, 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype, and the Skype username here is LRN.FM. We also have the Discord on-air call-in line, which you can connect to over at discord.lrn.fm. The chat room is chatting right now and taking and making opinions on who's right and who's wrong here on the radio. And with you in the studio tonight, it is Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Also, Dash is Digital Cash. It's a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. I replaced cash with Dash today when I got the car that I drive back from an oil change at the local automotive center that accepts cryptocurrency, including Dash. So yes, I paid about $40-something worth of Dash for my oil change today. And it was super easy and fast, and it worked well. The fees are really low. I was looking at the Dash fees that I paid on the last couple transactions. I didn't look today, but the last two prior to this one, it was not 3 pennies, not 1 penny, but a third of a penny's worth of Dash for the last 2 transactions that I paid for. And I've been used to seeing 1 or 2 pennies for Dash, 3 on like a expensive transaction. But now it's a third of a penny, and that made me wonder if they've implemented the plan they were talking about last year.
To decrease fees by a tenth.
Right. So
by 9/10.
So toward the end, or fees are 1/10, or at least the plan was to lessen fees significantly. And it sounds like maybe that's happened. I don't know. Or maybe I was just lucky or something like that. But either way, a third of a penny for a fee is awesome. And that's like below Bitcoin, way below Bitcoin, like even lower than Bitcoin Cash. That's like a fraction of Bitcoin Cash.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So it's incredible. And I hope this is a direction that we continue to see Dash go, where they are really the main player right now. Even though they're the number 12 by market cap, they've slipped out of the top 10 as far as the total value of Dash compared to the other cryptocurrencies in the world. They're still the number 1 player for point-to-point, person-to-business, mom-and-pop, retail-level sales. There's nothing out there that is rivaling Dash right now. Maybe someday they'll have some hot competition. I was going to say Bitcoin Cash was, probably their best competition in that field, but it's not really the case. I mean, Bitcoin Cash could be competition, but they're so new and they don't have any kind of structure behind them. They don't have a promotional budget like Dash does. We're going to be hearing a lot, I'm sure, about Dash coming up in Anarchapulco because they're backing the new Ben Swan television effort. And as I understand it, he's going to be guest speaking there and interviewing, or not interviewing, but he'll be introducing Ron Paul. So, Dash is going to be very, very visible there. Dash is visible because they have a marketing budget. It's one of the smartest things about the Dash platform. So go and learn more about it. They also have the decentralized autonomous organization that helps govern and decide how that marketing budget is spent. You can go to dash.org and get involved. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. That's dash.org as we continue here. Whether it's revenge porn, the non-aggression principle, the homeschool bills that threaten to destroy homeschooling in the United States, or the government possibly going to get behind 5G with a nationalizing plan to basically steal 5G from the cell phone networks out there, right out from underneath them, steal the baby from the crib, essentially, and then, of course, do what all governments do when they nationalize an industry, run it completely into the ground. That's the proposal coming out of the government bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., but some of the bureaucrats in D.C. actually oppose this, specifically the FCC, surprisingly enough. We'll tell you more about that coming up. We got Robert on the line in Georgia. He's on Skype. Hey, Robert.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. 2 nights in a row, and it's been like years beforehand. It's great to hear your voice again.
Yeah, well, I wanted to kind of respond to Mark's objection regarding the dissolution of the state, because he said that there was that difference between what the state funds and then kind of the services that it provides.
Let me restate my position, and we'll make sure you get plenty of time to respond to it. So basically, on one hand, I think that if if the government provides us free service, like the money creation, it can probably be undone because you can provide another free service that people will likely use if it's better. So in the case of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, they're seeing a wide level of adoption, if not use. And that's a way, I think, since the government doesn't actually charge you for the creation of its money, or at least not in a way that you see or know about, that we could see agorism work in that area. And agorism is the idea that the state will be replaced by private options at some point, and it'll just blow away. Now, whereas with public schools, we've seen options, private options to public schools for 100 years. And I just use that as a round number. I think that the numbers are higher. That if anything, public schools have more penetration in 100 years than they did. And that, they're monopolies and people send their kids there for a variety of reasons, among them being the closest school, even if it's not the best. I already paid for it. And I can't afford private school, even though I haven't checked into the rates, and just a variety of those things. So the private options don't really take off. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, no, that's very reasonable, and I think that a lot of times when we start talking about private services competing with the state. In a lot of ways, we limit ourselves to the existing state paradigm. And, one of the things that, you said I had this sort of mesmerizing voice. I guess that comes from all the preachers and teachers in my family. So I'm going to kind of channel the preacher aspect of it and bring up as something which kind of a story which comes from the Bible, which I'm sure that many people are familiar with, where you had, I think it was Joseph who was having dreams and talking about the years of plenty and the years of famine. And the king, then the Pharaoh, just set up basically storing a bunch of grain so that they could carry the people through the famine. Now, at one point, states did that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was not, and see, the thing is, if you were looking at how do you get rid of the state back then, you would be thinking, well, how can we stash up enough grain to carry the entire populace through a famine? But that's not how the free market solved that problem. The free market solved it by creating such plenty that sort of a strategy was no longer required. And I think that that's what ends up happening with a lot of the things that we think of as the state doing now. It won't be so much that the free market will come in and do what the state is doing, is that the free market will eliminate the entire necessity for that thing that the state has always done. And I don't know what that would look like. That'll be, that's technology, that's sociological responses to technology. There's a lot of stuff there. But that's the way that I would envision the state going away and private enterprises coordinating human action better. It won't be direct replacement. It won't be a drop-in replacement. It won't be some sort of direct competition. Usually, it will be that developments come about where the state solution just doesn't actually work anymore.
And as
if I ever come up with a rebuttal, I'll have you back on. But so, to me, what that says is it's kind of like a keto again. Like the best way to avoid, an attacker's punch is to simply not be there when it lands, and that seems like the only way to beat the state. You can't outpunch it.
Yeah, and I don't think that you really can outpunch the state, and I think that it's kind of a fool's errand to try. I think that
we won the Robin Hood case.
Problems, for certain types of problems, if you look at it just historically, the state was clearly the best available solution. Remember, what I was talking about was that genocide traveling at the speed of a horse. There's really not a whole bunch of things you can do in that situation apart from have a state. If you want to have that sort of insurance against genocide, there are no other options. So I think that's kind of the basis for a lot of things with the state. But as we get more and more technology, and as we get further and further away from that background concern of genocide, then we develop different social constructs and different ways of interaction, which make other things a lot more appealing. When you start talking about even private crime and trying to compete with the state on that level, I think that stuff like video cameras and mass surveillance, which won't necessarily be centralized surveillance, like people would have reason to record themselves now. That kind of thing will probably do more to eliminate crime than any sort of protection service would.
I think it's very likely.
Not explicitly one.
The camera's the new gun.
Rob, if you've got more, stand by. If not, thank you for the call. There's more coming up on Free Talk Live. Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
You've heard of Bitcoin Cash, but did you know there's now a Bitcoin Cash wallet? The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
It's the Onion Radio News. The nation's last remaining themeless restaurant has closed. This is Doyle Redland reporting. A once vibrant era came to an end today when Pat's Place, the nation's last themeless restaurant, closed its doors in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. During the heyday of themeless restaurants, Pat's Place achieved a certain amount of notoriety for its unique non-themed food items and unadorned atmosphere. But according to owner Patrick Baines, the times have changed.
Lately, we've had only a handful of people coming in to gawk at our posterless walls and mundanely named menu items like hamburgers or pancakes, and then they go someplace like the Rainforest Cafe or Johnny Rockets to actually eat.
Plans are now in the works to convert the Pat's Place location into Cedar Rapids' 7th Patty O Touchdown Sports Bar and Good Time Internet Grill. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want toll free here. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. The Skype username is LRN.FM. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
So we were talking about revenge porn earlier, and one of our chatters, Gene the Christian Anarchist, made a really interesting point in the Discord, which, by the way, you can join over at discord.lrn.fm. The chats go on throughout the show, before the show, after the show. There's people in there. Sometimes they do voice chat with one another. Right now, they're mostly doing text chat in there. And he points out, in relation to the discussion we were having about revenge porn, which for those who don't know is the idea of somebody posting a nude picture or sex picture of some sort of a partner of theirs, usually after a breakup has presumably gone bad in some way. And
or right before one is going to go very badly.
Sure. And it's a bad thing to do because you're abusing that person's trust in you. I mean, again,
it's contract violation.
I don't take the action lightly. I think it's a very serious, mean thing to do to somebody. But ultimately, I think that, as I pointed out, there's so much porn on the internet that it really, in the scheme of things, doesn't matter. Even though it'll matter to the individual who's been violated, and it does matter to a lot of those people.
Really, the only person you should ever care about.
But the worry is unrealistic that they have. The worry is it's going to ruin your life, and that's what the young people are told.
That's probably an unrealistic worry. Depending on
but that's what they're told in as far as teenagers sending teenagers sending sexting, because that's where this is a problem, right? Young people are more likely to sext one another than others. And frequently, when they get caught for this sort of thing, because they get spread around the high school or whatever, they get their fingers wagged at them and said, this is going to ruin your life. Don't take naked pictures. And no, it's not going to likely ruin your life. It's likely not going to have any.
Don't take naked pictures, though. The problem is it's going to have some effect on your life. That effect on your life is unlikely to be positive. And the upside of taking naked, sexy pictures is not nearly as high as the downside.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but let me add in what Gene the Christian Anarchist has to say here. He says it's all going to be moot in 5 years anyway. Look up fake app. It's one word, fake app. Today, he says, the technology exists to place anyone's face on any porn movie. In 5 years, it will be so good that it will be as good as the real thing, and no one will be able to say if it's real or not. I think it's great, he says. We get porn of every person in the world doing every sex act imaginable, and all of this then becomes no big deal. He says everybody will also have the ability to say it's fake, whether it is or not. No one will be able to tell the difference.
So when my videos finally come public, I'll be able to say, it's fake.
Fake.
Right, so that helps you with the reputational side of it. That doesn't really help you with the fact that you were kind of trying to sleep with a limited number of people, whatever that means to you, and somebody just changed that on your behalf to 8 billion.
Wait a minute. How does your naked picture or video getting out there, or a fake video of you getting out there, change the number of people you are sleeping with?
Okay, well, it changed the number of people that you were sexual with, not necessarily that you
got
slept
to
with.
see your naughty bits.
But most of them you won't even know have seen it. So really,
that might not matter to some people.
I understand that. I'm not saying this doesn't matter to people. Okay, I'm trying to explain why it shouldn't matter. Why you shouldn't be so concerned about it.
You still should care the amount of people that see you naked that aren't like your doctor.
No, but the point here is that you shouldn't care. And even a Christian anarchist is agreeing with me on this one, and you're the one who is saying it does matter.
This isn't really a religious thing. A lot of Christian people will tell you that you just shouldn't sleep around because then God will set you on fire. That's not really the reason why I see that that's a bad idea.
People have their opinions surrounding sexuality because they have their opinions, and their opinions are as valid as yours are.
No doubt. But much of it was influenced by a puritanical society that existed here in the past, and the truth
still does not matter.
And it still exists here, by the way. And the truth is that if nudity was more common and more normalized, which is what Gene is saying here, it'll be so normalized to see naked pictures of every celebrity, because they're not going to be, most of them aren't going to be real, but you won't be able to tell the difference. Every celebrity, everybody, all the teachers at your school, whatever it is, whoever you want to see naked, you just use this new technology, which he says is pretty newish now, but again, it already looks good. I went into the fake app group here, and they're using it on not just porn, but apparently the people who are making these fake AI porns in this group on Reddit, it's called r/deepfakes. They're also using the technology to put Nicolas Cage's face over actors' faces in movies he was never in. And the screenshots here look convincing. I mean, they've got Nicolas Cage here in a screenshot from, let's see here. That's actually, it's an animation. It's him in Raiders of the Lost Ark wearing a turban. So, I mean, very, very convincing. And this is where we are right now. It's just going to get better. So his point is it's going to normalize it, and it won't make a big deal. He says, have this discussion in 5 years when you'll be able to view a video of Trump having an orgy with Hillary and Michelle, and no one will even care if it's real or not. It will just be funny. He says the main point is that when you can see everyone having every kind of sex act and not knowing if it's real or not, it will actually be a liberating situation. No one will care if their private porn gets out, because no one will know if it's real.
Well, yeah, but then what happens to society when you devalue sex like that, which we've done, and, look around where we're at, so...
I would like to hire Gene to do your job, because his explanation's so much better than yours. Yours is like, ha ha, screw you, your naked stuff's going on the internet, and I love it. Gene's like,
That's not
look,
what I said.
You know, in 5 years' time, society will be altered by the
Gene brought something new to the table.
Technology.
Gene brought something new to the table, and I didn't say F you. I just said, hey, if you don't want your picture getting out, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to repeat this. If you don't want naked pictures getting out on the internet, don't take naked pictures. Hello?
I don't think anybody's saying that's not a good idea.
Okay, well then that's where it should end. If you're worried that this could happen to you, if it matters to you, then stop sending nude photos to your boyfriends.
Okay, so
or vice versa.
You should not leave piles of cash and hard drives for Bitcoin hard wallets laying on your porch. But if you do and someone steals them, then they should still be.
That was a crime.
Happens,
no doubt.
theft.
But you can't be that mad about it because you took no steps whatsoever to conceal the location of your stack of cash. You know? You can't be that upset about it. Oh, crap. I left a stack of cash and a hard drive with a Bitcoin wallet on the front porch, and I left it there for a whole weekend, and now it's gone. Whoops. You know? Take some responsibility for your own part in this. That's all I'm saying.
Victim blaming.
The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's talk to Vernon. He's in New Orleans. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live.
If I'm already paying all these property taxes for, I don't have any kids, but for all these other kids to go to, government school, what is my incentive to pay for a private school on top of the thousands of dollars I've already been spending for the government?
Because you don't hate your kids?
I don't have any kids. I mean, we all have to pay property taxes if we live anywhere. So I'm just talking about in general.
So I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So what is your incentive as a person who doesn't have kids to pay for private school?
Let's just pretend I had kids.
Okay. As an imaginary person who has kids, what's your incentive for going to private school, sending your kids to private school than public school? Do you, if you spend the time to get your kid ready, dressed and washed and with a little backpack on, do you want them to get the best education they can get that day, or do you want them to get the worst?
Well, that's all a matter of opinion.
No, it's not a frickin' opinion. It's not.
Well, okay. No. Well, let's look at it this way. Some people's opinions will say that there are some schools based on, let's say, you could base it on many, many things. You could base it on test scores. You could base it on grades. There are some school districts that in that sense are going to be a better quality than other schools.
Sure,
now,
school districts are, but when you compare public schools to public schools, some public schools will be better. But it is a rare bird when you're able to compare a public school to a private school or a charter school or any of those other circumstances. It happens, especially charter schools. It happens, but that you're able to come up with a public school winning that battle.
So the quality of the education is the argument there to spend that extra money.
But what else would it be?
Well, principal, I don't know. That's
great. Quality of education is the reason I would send my kid to a private school.
I'm not trying to convince people to go to FedEx to mail a letter on principle to not give money to the post office. It's because you don't hate your kids that you would want to not send them to a public school, although a lot of private schools copy that same model.
Yeah, but mine did, and I will say this, we homeschooled my kid.
Vernon, if you got a rebuttal, you can hang on. We'll bring you back for it here in moments. Hour 3's on the way. You can take control of the airwaves on Free Talk Live.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 29th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.27 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,344 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $45, and the average price of Bitcoin is $11,172. Antiwar.com reports the Prime Minister of the Saudi-backed Hadi government in Yemen has issued a desperate plea for Saudi help over the weekend as their forces were quickly routed in their interim capital of Aden and the government headquarters were seized. Interestingly, this is totally separate from the Saudi-led war trying to reinstall this faction as Yemen's government and marks a major split in the Saudi coalition, with the attacking faction a southern secessionist movement which is backed by the United Arab Emirates. Yemen was militarily unified in 1990 when northern Yemen conquered the former South Yemen. Since then, secessionists have remained active in the south, though rarely in a position to really assert themselves in a serious way. The Saudis were keen to install a Sunni-dominated government with their invasion in 2015, but the Hadi government's increasing reliance on the Muslim Brotherhood and the war's length has convinced some that Yemen is heading for a split. The United Arab Emirates appears to believe that they may as well just back the separatists in the first place. A victory for the separatists might go a long way towards ending the Yemen war, as the battle lines between pro-Saudi forces and the Shiite Houthis are remarkably close to the old borders between North and South Yemen. Ending the war with a de facto and de jure split might be the simplest way for everyone to extricate themselves from the conflict that's gotten far out of hand and is causing humanitarian disasters left and right. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports billionaire Steve Wynn resigned as the Republican National Committee Finance Chairman on Saturday after Wynn Resorts Board announced late Friday a special committee will investigate sexual misconduct allegations involving the company's chairman and CEO. President Donald Trump, who has called Wynn a great friend, named the casino hotel mogul to the position after the 2016 election. Wynn Resorts, the Las Vegas-based company founded by Wynn, announced its plans to form the committee after a Wall Street Journal investigation published Friday morning detailed a decades-long pattern of sexual misconduct by Wynn based on dozens of interviews with former employees. Among those claims, the newspaper noted that manicurists and massage workers were highly paid but felt they were pressured and felt intimidated when Wynn made requests of them. A married manicurist claimed Wynn forced her to have sex with him not long after he opened his flagship Wynn Las Vegas. The newspaper reported Wynn later paid the manicurist a $7.5 million settlement. After the Journal report, Wynn Resorts stock shares dropped 10% on NASDAQ. Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, a moderate Democrat from West Virginia, said on Sunday he thought a new White House immigration plan was a good starting point and criticized House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi for dismissing it as a way to make America white again. Manchin, a leader of a bipartisan Senate group working on immigration, said on CNN's State of the Union program, "We don't need that type of rhetoric on either side, from Nancy, Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan, or anybody else." Manchin's comments highlighted differences among the Democrats ahead of a February 8th deadline for the U.S. Congress to pass another spending bill and try to reach an immigration agreement that would also protect up to 1.8 million undocumented immigrants brought to the United States as children, a group known as Dreamers. Senior White House officials outlined an immigration plan on Thursday that would offer Dreamers a path to citizenship. The proposal would also curb some legal immigration programs and build a border wall with Mexico. The White House described the language on Dreamers as a major concession to Democrats, but leading Democrats quickly dismissed the plan as a non-starter. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Florida officials announced today its plan to experiment with new 600-lever voting machines.
The machine operates through a very straightforward process that we think is going to give Floridians the peace of mind that their votes will be counted. The voter turns on the machine using these 30 levers at the top and then enters their names and social security numbers using the alphanumeric levers near the bottom here. Right about now, the voter is going to have to find the two levers on the machine that are exactly identical and pull them at the same time. Then they're going to have to...
The new 22-foot-tall steam-powered machines, which officials are hailing as, quote, the future of voting, each feature over 45 separate panels of levers, along with an intricate series of valves, knobs, cranks, and pumps, all designed to streamline the electoral process.
Now, some of this may seem confusing, but every voter will be given a comprehensive 2,200-page manual when they enter their precinct that will explain exactly what to do.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Yes, that's right. It's only a matter of time before anybody with enough pictures of you, and it's not hard to get that, given Facebook has collected a lot of them, or Instagram or whatever. A lot of people have put their pictures out there for public consumption. They want everybody to see themselves on vacation or wherever it is they want them to see them.
Crunk at a house party.
And now the technology exists, according to Motherboard over at Vice.com, to put your face on pretty much anything. Maybe movie footage or maybe porn footage. Story from Motherboard in December. Motherboard discovered a Redditor named Deepfakes quietly enjoying his hobby, face-swapping celebrity faces onto porn performers' bodies. He made several...
You make it sound like such a pleasant little hobby and nothing pathetic or disgusting about it.
He made several convincing porn videos of celebrities, including Gal Gadot, who I'm not familiar with.
That is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And she's a very attractive woman.
Maisie Williams and Taylor Swift.
And also got a great personality, but from what I can tell.
Using machine learning algorithm, his home computer, publicly available videos, and some spare time. Now,
plenty of it.
Yeah. Now, remember, it wasn't too long ago, maybe within the last year or two, that there was an amazing test footage that was revealed where they had taken like a live feed, video footage that was kind of like a live feed of, let's say, George Bush or something like that, giving a speech. And then they had made it so that that George Bush would do whatever it was that an actor did. So they had an actor that would, face the camera in the same way that George Bush would in this particular footage, and the actor would, stick out his tongue, look to the left, look to the right, look up, whatever with his face, make faces, and George Bush, on the video of him giving a speech, would be making those faces. It was incredibly persuasive footage. We talked about it here on the air on Free Talk Live, and that was what first brought up this conversation about, oh my God, they can do this now? How is this going to deal with, like courtroom evidence? I mean, the fact that you can easily swap out somebody's face. And back then, this was something that, somebody spent a lot of time, and it was like, high-level computing task. Now, it's turned into an app. Now there's an app out there. It's called, we'll tell you about that here in a second, but that makes it even easier than before. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier. It's going to end up being point and click. Oh, you got a video, you want this porn footage? Okay, you got a picture you want to put on it? Okay, click, click, done. It's going to be that easy. So anyway, here's more of the story. Since they first wrote about deepfakes, the practice of producing AI-assisted fake porn has exploded. And just so you know, this story came out January 24th. So this is fresh on Vice, and they're referring to an article they originally wrote in December. So only a month's time. A month, 2 months has passed since they first wrote about this. It's exploded. More people are creating fake celebrity porn using machine learning, and the results have become increasingly convincing. Another Redditor even created an app specifically designed to allow users without a computer science background to create AI-assisted fake porn. All of the tools one needs to make these videos are free, readily available, and accompanied with instructions that walk novices through the process. These are developments that we and the experts we spoke to warned about in our original article. They have arrived with terrifying speed. Shortly after Motherboard published its story, Deepfakes created a subreddit named after himself, dedicated to his practice 2 months ago. And that is, as I mentioned before, reddit.com/r/deepfakes. To the practice. In that short time, it has already amassed more than 15,000 subscribers. Within the community, the word deepfake itself is now a noun for the kinds of neural network-generated fake videos their namesake pioneered. Did you see this one coming when you came up with AI? Because apparently AI is now made to use pornography with.
What a surprise.
Another user called Deepfake App created Fake App, a user-friendly application that allows anyone to recreate these videos with their own data sets. The app is based on Deepfake's algorithm, but Deepfake App created Fake App without the help of the original Deepfakes. I messaged Deepfakes, but he didn't respond to a request for comment on the newfound popularity.
He's busy slapping celebrity faces on porn.
Or slapping something. Deepfake App told me in a Reddit direct message that his goal with creating Fake App was to make deepfakes technology available to people without technical background or programming experience. Quote, I think the current version of the app is a good start, but I hope to streamline it even more in the coming days and weeks. He said, eventually, I want to improve it to the point where prospective users can simply select a video on their computer, download a neural network correlated to a certain face from a publicly available library, and swap the video with a different face with the press of one button. So that's his goal. That's what he is working towards with this app. In early January, shortly after Motherboard's first deepfake story broke, I called Peter Eckersley, chief computer scientist for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, to talk about the implications of this technology on society at large. He told me, quote, I think we're on the cusp of this technology being really easy and widespread, adding that deepfakes were pretty difficult to make at the time. He said, quote, you can make fake videos with neural networks today, but people will be able to tell that you've done that if you look closely. And some of the techniques involved remain pretty advanced. That's not going to stay true for more than a year or two.
Yeah.
In fact, it barely stayed true for 2 months. We counted dozens of users who are experimenting with AI-assisted fake porn, some of which have created incredibly convincing videos. Redditor Unobtrusive Bot put Jessica Alba's face on porn performer Melanie Rios' body using Fake App. And they wrote this in a comment, quote, super quick one, just learning how to retrain my model, around 5-ish hours, decent for what it is. And
it's almost indiscernible.
Stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning. I mean, I haven't seen the original footage that, to compare it to. So they got a little clip of it here in the Vice article, and it looks like Jessica Alba sitting out at like she's in L.A. They're out at a restaurant outside, and she's taking off her top, basically, is what's happening. And it's very persuasive. Redditor Nutty Nutter 6969 used Fake App to put Daisy Ridley's face, the Star Wars girl from the recent movies.
Yeah, no one wants to see her naked, I can assure you.
Right, they put her face on a porn performer. In fact, there are several Daisy Ridley entries on this particular Reddit. Fakes posted in the subreddit have already been pitched as real on other websites. A deep fake of Emma Watson taking a shower was re-uploaded by Celeb Jihad, a celebrity porn site that regularly posts hacked celebrity nudes, as a, quote, never-before-seen video above is from my private collection and appears to feature Emma Watson fully nude and flaunting her naked sex organs while showering with another girl, unquote. Now, did they know it was fake when they posted it, or did they believe that it was real and just posted as, we don't know any better, it appears to show her? Well, apparently it does appear. I haven't seen it, but you can go look for it on the deepfakes
Right.
Reddit.
It won't be long before every woman who's ever been in a movie then has porn about her, and
that anyone's been attracted to. Yeah.
And trickle-down economics kicks into play. That pretty much any woman who's got a Facebook account then has porn, and then anybody would even care about the notion of seeing naked, then she's got her porn. Then the guys they're in
it's
it. It's
going to happen.
Right. You've got Ian Freeman's face on some guy who's getting a train run.
Totally.
And the whole deal.
All of that can happen. Other Redditors who have taken video trained from celebrities' public Instagram stories and used them to transfer faces onto nude Snapchats posted by amateurs. Quote, I lucked out that this amateur does similarly silly dancing moves and facial expressions as Chloe sometimes does in her Instagram stories, the creator of a deep fake of actress Chloe Bennett wrote. Most of the posts in our deepfakes so far are porn, but some users are also creating videos that show the far-reaching implication of a technology that allows anyone with sufficient raw footage to work with to convincingly place any face in any video. A user named ZeroCool22 combined footage of Hitler with Argentina's president Mauricio Macri. According to Deepfake app, anyone who can download and run Fake app can create one of these videos with only one or two high-quality videos of the faces that they want to fake. The subreddit's wiki states that Fake app is, quote, a community-developed desktop app to run. So you can't do it on your phones yet, people. So you got to have an actual desktop computer to do this at this point. But in 2 more years, probably going to be point and click on every smartphone anywhere. More coming up here in moments. 8:55, 450, free like freedom. You can share your thoughts on this or whatever's on your mind.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today, the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the
problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here at 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, and the Skype username is lrn.fm. In addition, we've also got the on-air call-in line option on our Discord. You can go to discord.lrn.fm, and you can get interactive with other listeners there. Apparently, somebody has faked Angela Merkel's face onto Donald Trump. So there's all kinds of interesting things.
It's going to happen. Whatever it is, it's going to happen.
Yeah, that can be done with this. We've actually got our listeners now in the Discord posting deep fakes in the Discord. The deep fake, by the way.
Our Discord is the best place to be on the internet right now.
It's fun. It's a fun little thing. You can go check it out, discord.lrn.fm. Also, something to check out is zencash.com, where you can learn about Zencash, one of the new kids on the block when it comes to cryptocurrencies. They got started in 2017, but they're off with a bang, I would say.
Yeah, a nice uptick today.
Over $50 worth per Zencash, I think? Is what I heard.
It's looking good. I still think – I don't give a lot of advice on buying here, right? I still think, Zencash is a buy personally.
So I'm not an investor. That's not an investment advice, but that's just your personal opinion.
It's just a personal opinion. What is investment advice? Who is qualified to give it?
But I want to make sure that we're not claiming that we're giving it, because that could be bad, apparently.
No, I'm saying I think it's a buy.
Okay.
And I've been pretty careful all along, but I've been right more than I've been wrong, Ian.
Well, I don't make predictions about the future, Mark. If you want to do that, that is certainly your choice. Zencash, of course, did take some of the best technology. They've got zero-knowledge anonymity. That's one thing they've got in their corner. They've got decentralized autonomous organizations, kind of like was very successful with Dash, for instance. So they've taken some of the best ideas out there in the world of crypto and roll it into a cryptocurrency that is a secure platform for money and messages, secure encrypted messages that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. And I believe they have on their list of things to do to make it so you can send media with Zencash as well, but that may be down the road a bit. Go to zencash.com to learn more about the technology. Get on board, get a wallet, and start accepting and sending and receiving Zencash over at zencash.com. It is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. It was founded by people who care about liberty. They use the term voluntarism right there in their white paper. Go see it for yourself at zencash.com. As we continue here, Sarah in New Mexico. Now, Sarah, you don't have a lot of experience with the internet. You don't have it, and you don't spend much time looking or thinking about it. But are you shocked? Are you surprised by the fact that anybody who has enough pictures of you could actually take your face or even a video of you and superimpose it in a very persuasive and convincing manner on the bodies of porn stars or politicians. And I'm not sure which one would be worse.
Well, I guess it's possible, but I called in because did you know that we used to have 20 red light cameras here in Albuquerque?
No, I did not know
I'm
that.
not so
What if they
interested
take
about
the
that.
red light camera footage and start using that to make pornography?
Well, what if they didn't turn it in as evidence and they slap your head on the driver of a car in a red light video, and then the
Fake
state
it.
and then the city of Albuquerque sends you a ticket?
Well, you know what?
She doesn't
I was
drive.
told that
She's
they
not worried.
stopped taking pictures from the front because there was a judge in Texas. He was caught with his girlfriend, and his wife opened up the ticket. His wife opened up the ticket, and he found him and his girlfriend in the car running a red light. So that all of the pictures are taken from the back.
Well, then you can't tell who ran the red light. Running a red light is a moving violation. A moving violation goes against your license, not your license plate, and so they can't prove who was driving. You need to be able to prove who was driving to get a moving violation.
But I don't know what the reason was, but that's one of the reasons why it got taken down.
Good.
The
We still have
husbands would
laws
get
in this
busted
country.
for cheating on their wives on their tickets, and then he was a judge.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that I just want to say that I did volunteer work. I went down to city council meetings 50 times to push the red light cameras. And at that time, we used to have 20 of them when we had Mayor Chavez.
The political
And
process
so-
sometimes feels like a treadmill, doesn't it? Like you're just going and doing something and not getting anywhere, and it all seems so pointless, doesn't it?
Well, the thing is, the reason I stopped going down, because my neighbors that hated the camera, she threw rocks at my window, tore up my screen.
Wow.
Threw eggs at the thing.
How do you
But,
know?
I'm lucky.
Did you see her do it?
Well, yes, she was out there screaming and yelling and, "Look at this, come outside and look." That's how.
So she
'cause I
was that
down at
upset because you went to a city council meeting.
Politics is a threat. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
ultimately,
true.
that's what it comes down to is that, it's the use of force against a person, and she's reacting. I'm not saying that what she did was right to you or anything, Sarah.
I can understand it, though.
But I can see, people just feel threatened. You probably felt threatened when Donald Trump, won the presidency. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this lunatic won.
Thanks for the call, Sarah. Let's continue here with another man who might be showing up in fake app videos. Ricky in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We've seen Ricky's photo. It's already been used for Photoshops on the Free Talk Live forum over at forum.freetalklive.com, some of which have been very creative and very talented. Mark, you may remember Free Talk Live has a long history of encouraging Photoshops by our listeners. For listeners that aren't
Usually
familiar,
of us.
Right, that was what it was encouraged to do. We even had a Photoshop sub-forum on the original Free Talk Live BBS way back in the day, where people took, I think, my face and put it on a douche bottle at one point.
Yep, that
and
certainly happened.
There was something with the two of us.
Yeah, there was one where you were Mr. Spock and I was Captain Kirk. People did me as the Terminator, as George Bush, as Iron Man. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Right, this was 2002, 2003. So, I mean, we're talking about 15 years ago when people were doing that. But that was just with still photos. Back then, it would have been unheard of. It would have been an incredibly difficult process, if not impossible, for the average person to have taken footage of us and imposed that on footage of somebody else. But that is now possible.
You did make a very convincing douche bottle, though.
Thanks. But that's now possible thanks to this app that Motherboard's been reporting on, and now other sites as well, called Fake App. Ricky, are you ready to see yourself in online porn that has been faked? Because that could be happening soon.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me, Brother Ian. And it's funny you bring that up because I was hearing your topic earlier about this revenge porn and all these other things. And I really kind of like to have a discussion with yourself, Mark, and Miss Melanie about it if I could.
That's why we're here. Please, go ahead.
All right, sounds good enough. Well, I mean, I think you kind of had it right before. I mean, this is coming at it from many different angles.
Pick one. Just pick one angle right now. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, people are forgetting one point. This is what we can focus on. This is not about the damn state. This should be about those two people. And then if you chime in, say, Miss Melanie, it'll all of a sudden become a moral issue. You know, and that's kind of where my head is at looking at this.
You're saying the state shouldn't get involved between people who have an issue with a relationship and a breakup. I agree with you there. Thanks, Ricky. More coming up here in moments. 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Unfortunately, the one picture we have of Ricky is not really a full face. It's like most of his face.
He doesn't seem to want to give us any. We tried hard.
I don't know if we can. Somebody might actually have to find him in real life and snap some photos of him on the street or get some video.
Let's not dox or
More coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA-packed technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
This is novelist Tom Robbins. When my mother was diagnosed with glaucoma, her conservative Virginia physician told her there was only one treatment that might ease her pain and save her eyesight. That treatment was medical marijuana, which he could not prescribe. I offered to get her some and teach her how to use it effectively, but my father objected because marijuana was against the law. So my mother, who loved to read and walk in nature, was condemned to grow cruelly, unnecessarily blind. Tragedies like this happen all the time, but they don't have to keep happening. To learn more about medical marijuana, call the Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or visit them on the web at mpp.org.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Well, we were going to talk about the important issue of the government nationalizing 5G networks, and maybe we'll still talk about
we
that.
We decided to talk about porn
But we're
instead.
talking about fake porn, not just regular porn, but fake porn. The fact here is that the technology now exists here in 2018 where there is an app, and it's going to get even better, but it already exists to where the average person who does not have programming expertise will now be able to make their own, what they're calling deep fakes, which are very, very, and some of them are pretty rough around the edges. But for right now, you can actually make some pretty good-looking videos. Earlier, my roommate just came in, and I had pulled up one from the Deepfakes Reddit, which is, let's see, there's like, 15,000 people in there. The subreddit is r/deepfakes, if you want to see these for yourself, with Star Wars, the other Star Wars girl from a decade ago, Natalie Portman. They took her face and put it onto some porn actress during a photo shoot or whatever, and he couldn't tell the difference. So the subreddit's wiki, by the way, states that Fake App is, quote, a community-developed desktop app to run the deepfakes algorithm without installing Python, TensorFlow, etc., and that all one needs to run it is a good GPU, a good graphics processing unit. So the very same thing that you would mine your cryptocurrencies with can make fake pornography now. They need a good graphics card with CUDA support. If users don't have the proper GPU, they can also rent cloud GPUs through services like Google Cloud's platform. Running the entire process from data extraction to frame-by-frame conversion from one face to another would take about 8 to 12 hours if done correctly. Other people have reported spending much longer, sometimes with disastrous results. And there are some, sloppy jobs in here, but they're learning. Right, they're learning how to get this stuff right and make it more more accurate. Then again, they also are using this for non-porn purposes, like putting politicians' faces on other politicians, for instance. One of them even manipulating Hitler's face onto a current politician from
what
some
good
other
is
country.
Police officer badge video, red light camera video? What good is any video going to be?
That's the big question here.
2 years.
That's the biggest question I think that is applying to this, because this isn't just about porn. Remember, the VHS tape won the battle in beta versus VHS because the porn industry adopted it. So, where the porn goes is kind of where a lot of other things go, meaning that the porn is leading the way in this particular technology and driving its adoption, driving its creation, driving its ease of use, but it's going to be used for all kinds of things. As you said, this could be made to falsify all kinds of footage. And then how do you prove in a courtroom that your footage wasn't manipulated? Because normally with video, you need to have some sort of a chain of custody. You need to, or with any evidence, you need to have a chain of custody to where you can show this came from this place, it was then put into this bag, it was then sealed by this officer, it was then opened by this officer, and the idea is that that somehow prevents some level of manipulation. I'm sure there are still ways that you can manipulate, but it's going to be very, very hard to prove that this video footage didn't originally come from your surveillance system or something like that. Putting somebody's face over a criminal act that was caught outside of a business or something like that. Or just doing a better job or a passable job on professional Hollywood footage. There's a Princess Leia face swap from the movie Rogue One. Remember the end of that movie without giving it away? Well, of course, it's the prequel to Star Wars, so you kind of know what's coming. But the Princess Leia, the character from the 1977 Star Wars film, makes an appearance in this movie that came out in, 2016, I think it was. She makes an appearance, and she looks like young Princess Leia.
Sure does.
And
let's not forget in that one that they did the Grand Moff Tarkin thing.
Throughout the whole movie.
Throughout the whole movie is a character of a man that has been dead for 20 years.
And it was pretty impressive. I could tell that something was amiss with that particular character because I knew that guy had to be dead.
It was just a little weird, but it was just a little weird.
But my girlfriend at the time did not know because she had not seen the original film, and she didn't know that character, the actor, Peter somebody.
I can't remember, but I mean, he was very convincing as Grand Moff Tarkin.
He was old back in 1977, and
he had to have been one of the first ones to go.
Right. So in this case, somebody with the fake app that we were talking about here, the one that you can download to your desktop.
Wilrif Tarkin? No, that's the character.
No.
I'm terribly sorry. I thought that I was going to just jump right in.
I thought it was Grand Moff or something
Grand
like
Moff Tarkin, but I think that this is
Peter somebody. I forget
Peter Cushing.
Cushing, there you go. Anyway, somebody with this very same app that we've been talking about made a different version of the Princess Leia scene, and then they cut them both together into the same video. So you can compare. Quote, "My hope is that in the next few years, machine learning tools like this one become more widely available and give everyday people that don't necessarily know tech the opportunity to explore and create with high-tech digital manipulation technology that's mainly the domain of big-budget SFX companies today." He says the top version, and you can see this on the Motherboard piece at motherboard.vice.com or on their Deepfakes Reddit. The top version is the original footage from Rogue One with a strange CGI Carrie Fisher. Movie budget, $200 million. Dirtfake wrote of his creation. Bottom is a 20-minute fake that could have been done in essentially the same way with a visually similar actress. My budget, $0 and some Fleetwood Mac tunes. And indeed, when you look at these, the two footage, as they're running simultaneously, it looks very, very similar. And so that's how good this technology is today. It's an incredibly easy-to-use application for DIY fake videos of sex and revenge porn, but also political speeches and whatever else you want that moves and improves at this pace could have society-changing impacts in the ways we consume media. The combination of powerful open-source neural network research, our rapidly eroding ability to discern truth from fake news, and the way we spread news through social media has set us up for some serious consequences. Jay Owens, digital media analyst and research director at audience intelligence platform Pulsar, told me in an email, quote, socially and culturally, this is exploitative, but quite survivable. Viral videos and celebrity media already operate on a plane of pure entertainment, but this will only get sexier and memeier.
Well, celebrity videos and celebrity nudes don't operate solely on a level of entertainment, because there was that whole, the fappening, if you recall, a couple of years ago.
Where there was a hack, right?
There's a hack of a whole bunch of phones. They found some...
Of celebrity phones.
Celebrity gals. Well, they've a whole bunch of phones, and they found some celebrity gals' phones, and then found their pictures that they had taken of themselves in various states of undress.
Right.
And in compromising positions. And those were uploaded, and, there you go. You've got something happening. And I think it was Jennifer Lawrence, all upset, as many people were at that point. So no, it's not still only at a level of entertainment, but I think that this will likely put the nail in that coffin.
Because then anybody will be able to say, it's a fake. It's a fake.
Right.
Prove it was real. Going on here, just a little bit more. Deborah Johnson, professor emeritus of applied ethics at the University of Virginia School of Engineering, told me there's no doubt this technology will get so good that it will be impossible to tell the difference between an AI-generated face swap and the real thing. She said, quote, "You could argue that what's new is the degree to which it can be done or the believability. We're getting to the point where we can't distinguish what's real, but then we didn't before. What is new is the fact that it's now available to everybody, or will be."
I mean, wouldn't you still be able to read the source code or whatever the actual term for that is?
What do you mean?
So
like a picture.
If you go in and read like the actual, not the ones and zeros, but whatever they are now, wouldn't it tell you like this is...
No.
However, okay.
No, because you're creating your own new thing. You're taking two things that already exist, the original footage and then the person that you want to superimpose upon that footage, and then you just simply output a new video. And that new video will be its own piece. It will have no source code history or whatever it is that you were referring to. It will be created on a certain date, and of course you can modify the date on which it was created. All of these things can be changed, and there's not going to be necessarily any fingerprints, digital fingerprints, left over. So get ready, because it's here. It's now. She says what's new is the fact that it's now available to everybody, or will be. It's destabilizing. The whole business of trust and reliability is undermined by this stuff. So if you want to comment, you're welcome to. Our toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. Will the government be nationalizing 5G? We'll find out coming up.
Thinking about getting into cryptocurrency? It's time you looked into Dash. Dash is digital money that you can use to send instant and private payments anywhere for pennies. Dash offers a decentralized network where miners are rewarded for keeping it strong and safe. Dash has made a huge impact in the crypto world. Start your journey. Check out Dash.org for more information and get in now on the future of cryptocurrency. Dash.org.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Core and your Bitcoin Cash. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Does the current world crisis in North Korea or our domestic crisis right here in America concern you? Well, I know it concerns me. My friends over at Legacy Food Storage have solutions in the event there's the inevitable. What's the inevitable? Civil unrest, a run on your local grocery store. And here's my question to you. If this happens, how do you feed your children? How do you feed your grandchildren? Legacy Food Storage has the solutions. In fact, they can help you implement a simple plan to take care of your needs in the event of the inevitable. By calling them right now, I have authorized them to give you a special 20% discount at checkout by simply using GCN. Call 888-543-7345 or visit them at legacyfoodstorage.com. That's 888-543-7345 or visiting them at legacyfoodstorage.com. Make sure you use GCN at checkout for an incredible 20% discount. Don't be a victim. Take control of your life now.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and of course, you can bring up what you want right here. In the remaining moments, there's enough time for you. If you want to jump in here, the toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. The Free Talk Live AMP program is available to you. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And the idea is you send in $5 a month to the program. We will invest that into Free Talk Live to get on more radio stations around the country to, we're at, I think, over 170 radio stations, which is great news. In fact, I've got 3 more to add this week. I just didn't get around to it today. So that's coming up. New stations in New Hampshire. I guess we can officially announce them, but they won't be listening until Saturday night, so we'll hold off on that. But it's actually stations we've had before, so they've come back on which I'm very excited about.
New again.
If you want us to get on more radio stations, maybe get on where you live or you used to live or whatever, you can help us do that. Go to the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. It also helps spread the ideas of liberty as far and as wide as possible. And you get some cool perks like access to the AMP-only call-in lines, the AMP-only podcast. There's an AMP-only Facebook group. There's the new Discord AMP-only chat room. So if you're a Free Talk Live amplifier, all you have to do is send me a message on Discord at discord.lrn.fm and just tell me what your AMP email address is. That way I can verify that it's really you and not somebody who's trying to, pose as you. That wants access to the AMP room.
Posers.
So you can go and do that over at discord.lrn.fm. Just let me know. And then there's also the Free Talk Live badge over on the Free Talk Live forum that you get if you're a Free Talk Live amplifier as well. So if you're on the forum and you're an amplifier, just shoot me a message there and let me know what your email is that you amped with, and I will upgrade you, because those are some of the perks you get when you are an amplifier over at amp.freetalklive.com. You can,
as a matter of fact, the amplifiers have just been treated to, you had mentioned earlier, the Photoshops from the old forum. I had a few of them.
Cool.
Looks like about 9 or 10 or something. No, maybe about a dozen or so, maybe between about 15 of them that I just uploaded. That I had,
That's cool.
Specifically the one of you as a
douche nozzle.
as a douche, yeah.
That's classic, man. That goes way back.
The classic "Whoa Manwich" of me dressed up in drag, protesting the Shrine of Female Listeners thing. And one of you and I.
That wasn't really a Photoshop, though. That was just you dressing in drag.
No, but I thought that people would want to see it.
Okay.
It's always a favorite whenever I upload
Sure it is.
Every couple of years when I remember to upload it, people are like, "Wow!"
You also used to share one of you with a mohawk way back in the day, too.
Yeah, there's that. If it's requested, I will send it out. However, there's also one with you as Frodo and me as Gollum, and I have taken possession of the golden gun of government, and apparently I don't want to give it back.
You wouldn't. Knowing you.
It has a word bubble. It has word bubbles.
That's cool. I hadn't seen that one, actually. It was the first time I'd seen that.
Yeah.
You showed it to me on your computer. But anyway, so yeah, join the AMP program. You get cool perks. It's $5 a month. You can use any major credit card. You can use PayPal. You can use Bitcoin Core over at amp.freetalklive.com, amp.freetalklive.com. All right, here's a terrible idea from Axios.com. Trump national security officials, they're considering an unprecedented federal takeover of a portion of the nation's mobile networks to guard against China, according to sensitive documents obtained by Axios. They say they got their hands on a PowerPoint deck and memo, both produced by a senior National Security Council official, which were presented recently to senior officials at other agencies in the Trump administration. The documents say America needs a centralized nationwide 5G network within 3 years. They say this will be a fierce debate within the Trump administration, and there's an outcry from the industry over the next 6 to 8 months over how such a network would be built and paid for. Two options laid out by the documents include: 1, the U.S. government pays for and builds a single network, which would be an unprecedented nationalization of a historically private infrastructure. We're talking about the U.S. government taking over the cell phone networks.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's a crazy proposal. Number 2, an alternative plan where the wireless providers build their own 5G networks that compete with one another, though the document says the downside is it could take longer and cost more. These bureaucrats, they don't live in reality.
But just let them think that.
Yeah.
Then they won't do it.
The idea that private industry, through competition, would take longer and cost more than the government trying to do the exact same thing is one of the most ridiculous claims I've ever heard. But luckily, there is some opposition, and from the most surprising of places, the FCC, where Chairman Ajit Pai has said, according to Variety.com, that he opposes any proposal in which the federal government would be tasked with building and operating a next-generation mobile network. Now, when bureaucrats get it right, I think they deserve to be praised when they get it right. I wish the FCC would disappear tomorrow, but they're not going to. And so to have a statement like the chairman of the FCC is making here, and it's not just him, we'll give you a couple of statements from some of the FCC board members on this. And remember, there's only 5 people on the board of the FCC. He says, quote, "I oppose any proposal for the federal government to build and operate a nationwide 5G network. The main lesson to draw from the wireless sector's development over the past 3 decades, including American leadership in 4G, is that the market, not the government, is best positioned to drive innovation and investment. That's a nice thing to say, and I hope that he really means it. Because if so, he should shut down the FCC entirely and truly allow the market to allocate frequency spectrum and come up with new technologies. But it's a baby step in the right direction. And to the FCC's credit, they actually have apparently been rolling back some regulations within the broadcast business, according to some of the industry media that I read.
And I mean, this guy's probably not an anarchist.
No.
Most people think that they can fix it from the inside and all that other silly stuff. So
yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that he hasn't just gone and got a regular job.
He says, quote, what government can and should do is to push spectrum into the commercial marketplace and set rules that encourage the private sector to develop and deploy next-generation infrastructure. Well, here's the newsflash for you. They're going to do that without your rules. They will do that because that's what customers demand. They don't need government structure to construct their business under. He goes on to say, any federal effort to construct a nationalized 5G network would be a costly and counterproductive distraction from the policies that we need to help the United States win the 5G future. According to the story, Michael O'Reilly, who's another FCC commissioner, he's a different Republican on the commission, said he also opposes the effort to nationalize 5G. He says, quote, I've seen lead balloons tried in D.C. before, but this is like a balloon made out of a Ford Pinto. If accurate, the Axios story suggests options that may be under consideration by the administration that are nonsensical and do not recognize the current marketplace. Instead, U.S. commercial wireless companies are the envy of the world and are already rushing ahead to lead in 5G. I plan to do everything in my power to provide the necessary resources, including allocating additional spectrum and preempting barriers to deployment to allow this private sector success to continue. But even one of the Democrats on the FCC, Mignon Clyburn, disagreed with the idea of nationalizing 5G. She says, quote, the United States...
After all, it came out of the Trump administration. What a surprise.
What?
The suggestion came out of the Trump administration.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Surprise.
The United States leadership in the deployment of 5G is critical and must be done right. Localities have a central role to play. The technical expertise possessed by the industry should be utilized, and cybersecurity must be a core consideration. A network built by the federal government, I fear, does not leverage the best approach needed for our nation to win the 5G race.
Not exactly a principled stance.
No,
but
she's against it. So
she's against it.
So you've got 3 federal commission
If it was
chair
a locality for it, then she might be very well for it. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, she was very, very dodgy on what her stance is.
The FCC, the fact that 3 out of the 5 have made public statements against it, I would say that probably means it's not going to go forward. So, but all that said, the fact that somebody would even propose such a ridiculous idea, it's pretty shocking. I do look forward to 5G. We live out here in the middle of the woods in New Hampshire. It took a while to get to 4G out here, so I don't know how long it's going to be before we see the world of 5G. But one thing's for sure, it'll certainly make making your own fake porn clips a lot easier.
Well, if I made them.
If that's how you choose to spend your time.
Well, yes. Which I don't.
No.
But there are a lot of people who are choosing to spend their time that way. And if you don't want yourself ending up in fake porn clips, then you better take all the pictures down that you've ever put online of yourself, as well as all video.
Just shut down your Facebook account and your YouTube account and, all your other accounts.
It's too late for us. I mean, we're out there. You can't take it back, right?
You can't really unpost a picture to the internet,
right.
So taking it down doesn't actually accomplish anything.
Yeah, if you shut down your Facebook account, they still keep all of your data, just in case you want to come back or the law enforcement wants to investigate you after the fact.
If the amount of propositions I've gotten online is any indication as to what danger I have as far as ending up in gay porn or something, I don't have anything to worry about. Just doesn't happen much.
Famous last words.
Talk show hosts, nobody cares about them.
We've already got listeners in our chat room saying they're going to make some fake porn.
Of you.
No, they didn't say
of
it.
you. Go look at the chat room.
He doesn't know. He's pretending like he doesn't know how to use a chat room. Even though he was already in there last week.
I wasn't in there. You turned on the mic.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You didn't get your own account, did you?
No.
All right. You're in the Daryl Club of hosts who pretend like they don't know what a chat room is and act like they don't know how to use one. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. Online in the meantime, over at freetalklive.com. Delete all your pictures, your videos now, or else.
Do you Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 29th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.27 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,344 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $45, and the average price of Bitcoin is $11,172. Antiwar.com reports the Prime Minister of the Saudi-backed Hadi government in Yemen has issued a desperate plea for Saudi help over the weekend as their forces were quickly routed in their interim capital of Aden and the government headquarters were seized. Interestingly, this is totally separate from the Saudi-led war trying to reinstall this faction as Yemen's government and marks a major split in the Saudi coalition, with the attacking faction a southern secessionist movement which is backed by the United Arab Emirates. Yemen was militarily unified in 1990 when northern Yemen conquered the former South Yemen. Since then, secessionists have remained active in the south, though rarely in a position to really assert themselves in a serious way. The Saudis were keen to install a Sunni-dominated government with their invasion in 2015, but the Hadi government's increasing reliance on the Muslim Brotherhood and the war's length has convinced some that Yemen is heading for a split. The United Arab Emirates appears to believe that they may as well just back the separatists in the first place. A victory for the separatists might go a long way towards ending the Yemen war, as the battle lines between pro-Saudi forces and the Shiite Houthis are remarkably close to the old borders between North and South Yemen. Ending the war with a de facto and de jure split might be the simplest way for everyone to extricate themselves from the conflict that's gotten far out of hand and is causing humanitarian disasters left and right. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports billionaire Steve Wynn resigned as the Republican National Committee Finance Chairman on Saturday after Wynn Resorts Board announced late Friday a special committee will investigate sexual misconduct allegations involving the company's chairman and CEO. President Donald Trump, who has called Wynn a great friend, named the casino hotel mogul to the position after the 2016 election. Wynn Resorts, the Las Vegas-based company founded by Wynn, announced its plans to form the committee after a Wall Street Journal investigation published Friday morning detailed a decades-long path
pattern of sexual misconduct by Wen based on dozens of interviews with former employees. Among those claims, the newspaper noted that manicurists and massage workers were highly paid but felt they were pressured and felt intimidated when Wen made requests of them. A married manicurist claimed Wen forced her to have sex with him not long after he opened his flagship Wen Las Vegas. The newspaper reported Wen later paid the manicurist a $7.5 million settlement. After the general report, Wen Resort stock shares dropped 10% on NASDAQ.
Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io.
Reuters reports U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, a moderate Democrat from West Virginia, said on Sunday he thought a new White House immigration plan was a good starting point and criticized House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi for dismissing it as a way to make America white again. Manchin, a leader of a bipartisan Senate group working on immigration, said on CNN's State of the Union program, "We don't need that type of rhetoric on either side, from Nancy, Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan, or anybody else." Manchin's comments highlighted differences among the Democrats ahead of a February 8th deadline for the U.S. Congress to pass another spending bill and try to reach an immigration agreement that would also protect up to 1.8 million undocumented immigrants brought to the United States as children, a group known as Dreamers. Senior White House officials outlined an immigration plan on Thursday that would offer Dreamers a path to citizenship. The proposal would also curb some legal immigration programs and build a border wall with Mexico. The White House described the language on Dreamers as a major concession to Democrats, but leading Democrats quickly dismissed the plan as a non-starter. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A local grandmother is beginning to realize that her family never even looked for a better nursing home. A man leaves a father-daughter dance with a different girl than he came with, and an earthquake late warning system goes off in Haiti. Watch as yet another precious fraction of your life passes mercilessly in front of your very eyes. This is the Onion Week in Review. Shortly after discovering he had locked himself outside of his suburban home Thursday, fully nude claims adjuster David Ronzo delivered a moving and thought-provoking treatise on the frailty of the human condition to a slowly gathering crowd of his neighbors. Ronzo, who initially panicked when he realized he was naked, soon turned and faced confused passersby and delivered a stirring oration on the grim facts of mortality, along with the indomitable nature of the human spirit. In other news, a man is arrested for stealing over $50,000 worth of beards from Hank Williams Jr. A pretty lady is playing hard to follow, and a dog named Murph lives up to his name. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, no fear, 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 no fear here and declare your independence of me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, FNWBEA, beautiful studios of Freedoms of the Nest, Phoenix.com. Oh, not the best one. Okay, Kent Heckin Lively is coming on the first hour, the author of The Age of Autism, Plague, the book he co-authored with Dr. Judy Mikovits, and he's been keeping track of Trump and vaccines and what's going on. We're going to get some news. Then we have, in the second hour, Edward Stringham, He's going to be a presenter at the Freedom Summit next weekend, and he is he's an economist. I remember when he spoke at the first Freedom Summit, he had just graduated, so he was a young guy. This is 10, 15 years ago, and all of a sudden now, he's like a professor, so we're going to have a conversation with him. Then retired federal judge John Buttrick and good friends going to be a speaker also at the Freedom Summit. Waste of time, the Libertarian Party, a waste of time or future freedom. Well, that will be an interesting conversation. We will have that. Well, there's going to be the state convention is this Sunday, and I got reminded yesterday, and I go, oh, yeah, dang, I said I was going to go. All right, so I'll be down in Tucson. We'll see what's up there. First, Kent Hecken Lively. Let's do a little bit here. Kent Hecken Lively is a science teacher, an attorney, and a founding editor of Age of Autism. During college, Hecken Lively worked for U.S. Senator Pete Wilson and was the school's Rhodes Scholar candidate. In law school, he was a writer and editor of the school's Law Review and spent his summers working for the U.S. Attorney's Office in San Francisco. And then he got diverted. All right, let's say hello to Kent Hecken Lively. Good morning, Kent. Well, Kent, I got you?
Yeah, can you hear me, Ernie?
Yeah, there you go. I had the wrong button pushed. All right.
Okay.
Tell me what the news is. There's been some excitement when it comes to Trump and doing the vaccine and conscientious objection and religious, I got an excuse and I say no. And Big Pharma, they're not liking that none too much. So give me your perspective.
Well, what's really interesting is that I think like a lot of people, I've been trying to figure out what is Trump really trying to do and what is his approach to things. And so for this first year, we've been a little bit concerned because we know he's got a lot of other things to deal with, and he hadn't really seemed to take on the autism and vaccine issue the way we might have expected, although in February he did announce that Robert Kennedy was going to head up a vaccine safety commission. So we're kind of thinking, okay, let's, we got to keep pushing because I know the Ernie Hudson way is you got to keep pushing politicians. But we were thinking, okay, we think he's going to be good to us. We don't think he's going to sell us out. We haven't seen a pattern of him caving on things, in the final analysis. So we thought, okay, what's going to happen? So I started, I'd kept my activism up. And then last week, Roger Stone, who is one of Trump's longtime friends, known him for 40 years, he was actually the first head of Trump's campaigns. He had written an article, which was then published in InfoWars, saying that it was time for Trump to fulfill his promise on the Vaccine Safety Commission and get Robert Kennedy Jr. seated and get that moving. Because, and his article was so thorough, it was as if I had written it because he had brought up all the points that I would have brought up.
This was just last week.
Yeah, that was just last week. So I thought, oh my God, something's up. So I write about that, and then 2 days later, Health and Human Services has this big announcement and press conference that in the Department of Health and Human Services, in their Civil Rights Division, they have founded an office of conscience and religious freedom, specifically to protect the rights of conscience and religious freedom. And I listened to the press conference, and I was just going crazy because the press is playing it one way, that it's just an anti-abortion front. But when you listen to it, they're saying is that the rights of conscience and religious freedom must be respected in healthcare. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you can't just have a little freedom. You either have freedom or you don't. So then I wrote an article which I said, look, this is a way for us to attack the mandatory vaccine laws, especially in California. And so I thought, okay, this is great. So I write this article. I get over 120,000 reads of it, 10,000 Facebook shares. And, people are going to me, Kent, do you really believe this? Do you think this is really true? I had a couple of people saying that they thought I was completely crazy. But as I was kind of reading the tea leaves, that's what it seemed. Well, lo and behold, the real blockbuster news is that one of our group actually met with the new head of this division, Roger Severino. He said everything that had been said publicly, and then this person had, about protecting religious and conscience rights, which I think is very important. And then he had said this person had brought up the idea of what's going on in California with our mandatory vaccine laws and not allowing kids to go to school unless they've had the 69 doses of the recommended schedule. And he said, yes, he's familiar with that. And he actually wants those people who feel their rights have been violated to file complaints with this new civil rights division. So what I've been doing is I've launched this campaign that as many of us in California and across the nation, we need to file complaints if we feel our conscience or religious freedom rights have been offended. And let me just quickly go through a couple ways that might happen. First of all, if you are a pro-lifer, well, aborted human fetal tissue is used in the vaccines. If you are Muslim, well, some of these vaccines are grown in pork products, and so these are being injected into pork products are being injected into Muslim children, which I know that Muslim parents would be highly offended by that. If you are, for God's sakes, a vegan, well, you don't take any animal products. Well, these are grown in animal cells. So why are vegans getting injected with animal products when they won't consume them? Or just simply rights of conscience. If you are a parent and you've done your research and you say to yourself, I don't think these things are safe, you should be as protected as if you had, a religious objection. So what I really like about what Trump has done is he has set up the machinery to dismantle these draconian laws.
And I am waiting to see if they got enough people to process it. Because this has been, I remember in the Clinton administration, there was they didn't want people who had gun violations to be able to restore their rights. And you could do it. It was legal, and you said, okay, I did my thing in time, and I want to do that. Or, they wanted to do homesteading, and this is how they did it. They go, yeah, there's a department of we don't have a budget, and we don't know where to put the paperwork. So it's just, just the fact that they have a division here, I'm wanting to know what manpower they have sit there just to process all the Heck and Lively campaign paperwork.
Well, but what's interesting to me is that...
All right, we'll get a response to that when we come back here in just a little bit. But there's movement. Something's happened. That was just the first year of survival for Trump. And getting some stuff done. Now it's going to be whoop-ass as we're going to pull the hammer down on all the inside little bad boy being bad and kind of deep state and stuff. Now get some work done. Is he going to get some work done? Well, Kent's hopeful and wants you to apply. We'll be right back.
From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown, but these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the crown. Not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Roger Stone in his article, contrary to oft-repeated claim that vaccines are safe and effective, statistical evidence is piled up showing them to be potentially toxic. They may cause injuries greater than the public realizes and sometimes can be riskier than catching the disease the vaccines are supposed to stop. Mounting testimonials are piling up from suffering families who are absolutely convinced a vaccine destroyed their child's life. Incredibly, California Congressman Adam Schiff has sponsored a House resolution that incredibly claims that no U.S. citizen has ever been damaged by vaccination and that the U.S. government has never paid out a penny to any citizen damaged in this manner. Well, that's not true. This is akin to sponsoring a House resolution which claims that the Holocaust never happened. In fact, the U.S. government has paid out more than $3.5 billion to individuals damaged by vaccinations that we are told are safe. Schiff's groveling for Big Pharma campaign contributions, just another reason why I say, if it's Schiff, flush it. So this is, where we're at, and it looks like Trump is taking on the promise of we're going to do something about it. So what's the next stages here, Kat?
Well, it's a great question. So first of all, with this Office of Conscience and Religious Freedom, what we're doing is we want to flood that office with complaints. Another big complaint that I just have to mention is, and I think that this is so helpful because what I really like about this new division is I think it gives all of us who have concerns a big tent to fight under. So not only does it allow libertarians to fight with Christian conservatives, to fight with Muslims, to fight with Orthodox Jews who, also don't like pork products, with vegans. I mean, this is about principle, and under principles, you can get a really large tent. But another group that I think is suffering a lot of discrimination are nurses who do a lot of their own research, and they are pressured to take the flu vaccine at work. In some states, nurses are losing their job because they decline the flu vaccine. I know in California what happens, my wife is a medical professional, is that she declines the flu vaccine and then they make her wear a mask. Well, let's really play this out, what's happening. So under the HIPAA privacy laws, you can't disclose anybody's immunization status or, other medical procedures. Well, the simple wearing of the mask is a disclosure of her immunization status. So all these people that you see at hospitals who are wearing masks are having their HIPAA rights violated. Okay, but let's even take it further. First of all, okay, let's make the argument, in terms of the way in the government's favor. Okay, as much in the government's favor as possible. So nothing I'm saying here is controversial. The government admits that the flu vaccine currently being administered is only 10% effective. So that's their own numbers. That's not mine. That's theirs. Okay, so it's 10% effective. Okay. And then let's say, we talk about how few people get the flu. Okay, so what that means is 90% of the people who are getting that flu vaccine, for God's sakes, are unprotected. And these people are allowed to be working in medical settings without a mask. If you really wanted to be draconian about it, what you should say is, okay, during the flu season, every single medical professional in a hospital has to be wearing a mask. Okay, I could understand that at least has some narrative logic to it. This has absolutely no logic to it. So I'm also encouraging nurses who are being forced to be masked during flu season to file as well.
Yeah, I'm not as persuaded by, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. It's my private business and I'm the company or whatever, and, I can make you do whatever I want or don't work here. That has never been my problem. When you come up with it's discrimination by having to wear a mask or not being able to wear my burqa or, whatever. It's just, I'm not as persuaded by that. I can see, why that would be an issue. I just think that there's so many other great issues. There's so many great arguments. The focus on that one would diminish the others. You got a good reason, stick with that. And if it's about the mask, I wouldn't focus on that one because I just don't care. But I mean, it's they can make a better art. See, I learned this is a point that I'm making. When I was in the restaurant business and you're dealing with hourly wage control and so on, and somebody complain about or they, do a he fired me because, bad reason and this and that. You have all these different reasons. Usually you got a bad employee. And it's just, man, I can give 15 gazillion reasons. And you go in, you'll say, well, he never washed his hair. He never changed his shoes. He never, and they go, well, you have so-and-so over here that they didn't wash their hair and you didn't fire them. And this guy was late a couple times. You didn't fire them. And this guy. So I always had to I only needed one good reason. They didn't show up for a shift. They lied. They stole. They something. What about, well, you don't like them because of, I'm not talking about all that other crap. Don't care. One reason. One good reason. Boom. Done. Anything else, it kind of diminishes the argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's down to because it's my freaking body. Done. Drop the mic. Out of my face. So this is, I'm glad that you have that option and they put it under conscience. It's just, you know what? I did the analysis and I say no because I say no. I'm afraid of needles. None of your business. It doesn't matter. So does that give you that kind of power? Does this change give you at least that?
It really seems to. And what was really interesting was to listen to the press conference. And I have to say, I felt like my jaw was on the floor because the people who were talking were saying things like, religious and conscience rights mean nothing unless the government protects them. And they said actually they felt that governments both big and small had violated conscience and freedom rights with impunity. And I found myself going like, oh my God, this is just remarkable to hear them speaking language that I would feel very comfortable at with any of my groups. And these are the things that I would say publicly. Now, the question always is, and people are doubtful, and I understand that, and they're saying like, well, they don't really mean that. They're not going to apply that to you. And I say, well, that's always a risk, but that's why we're going to answer the invitation that has been offered. And we want to answer that invitation in overwhelming numbers. So if they think to themselves, oh, we'll set out the welcome mat and nobody will come and then we'll shut them down. Well, that ain't going to be, if I have anything to do with it, that ain't going to be the answer. I want them to be a couple thousand complaints.
Is that all? Couple thousand? That's your goal?
Well, but by the end of January.
Okay, I'm thinking there's going to be, a lot of people that have concerns. This is a major, 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 major thing. And I'm just wondering where it's going next.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
If you're David, a few well-chosen words can help level the playing field with Goliath. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. Recently, I saw a Yellow Pages ad for an appliance repair company, and the headline read, "Why wait for Sears?" If you're going to the Yellow Pages, the Dead Sea Scrolls of advertising, you're ready to buy right now. So this is an attention-grabbing message. And how about the plumber whose radio ad says, "Call by noon Thursday, and we'll be there Saturday at no extra cost"? Smart guy. Most plumbing firms give their crew the weekend off. This one gives them Sunday and Monday off. In the words of a respected advertising executive, cut to the chase, make it quick, and tell me exactly what you can do for me, especially if you're looking for work. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and